The evening mist rolled through our village as I settled my 3 offspring onto our sleeping ledge. The youngest, Verk, was still at the age where her eye membranes couldn't fully close without a story to ease her into dream state. "Tell us about the woob again," chirped Maz, my middle one, always eager for the familiar tales. I adjusted my throat sacs and began the traditional chant. "In the misty forests beyond our village walls, where the twin moons cast their violet shadows, live the gentle woob." All 3 of my offspring finished in unison, their scales rippling with delight. "Yes," I continued, "the woob with their glowing antennae and soft blue fur who guide lost Zrel children home when darkness falls." Tenzo, my eldest, made a dismissive clicking sound with his mandibles. "Those are just hatchling stories, parent mine. No one has ever actually seen a woob." I smiled, my mouth parts spreading wide. This was the moment I had been waiting for. Tenzo had reached the age of questions, the perfect time to share a deeper truth. "You are right, Tenzo. The woob are merely stories we tell, but I want to share something with all of you tonight. Something real and far more wonderful than any woob could ever be." All 3 pairs of eyes widened, their attention fully captured. "I want to tell you about humans." "Humans?" Maz repeated, testing the strange word. "Are they another made-up helper like the woob?" "No," I said firmly, settling into a more comfortable position. "Humans are very real. I have met them." Verk gasped, her tiny claws clutching her sleep wrap tightly. "It happened during the Great Storm 3 cycles ago, before Verk hatched from her egg sac. Our village was built too close to the River of Changing Ways that year. The elders miscalculated the seasonal floods, and when the triple rains came, the water rose faster than anyone had ever seen." My offspring huddled closer as I continued. "I was on scout duty that night. The winds tore the communication array from our tallest spire. Without it, we couldn't warn the lower village about the rising waters. I tried climbing down myself, but a falling branch shattered my hind limb. I tapped my scarred leg, a permanent reminder of that night. I was certain I would dissolve in the acid rains or be swept away by the flood. I sent my distress beacon, but our nearest clan village was 4 days' journey away. No Zrel could reach us in time." "What happened?" whispered Tenzo, his earlier skepticism forgotten. A light appeared in the storming sky, brighter than the lightning, moving with purpose. A vessel, unlike any I had ever seen, descended through the clouds. It landed on the ridge above our village, where no Zrel craft could have managed in such winds. "The humans," breathed Maz. I nodded. "They emerged from their craft wearing protective suits that let them walk through our acid rains unharmed. 5 of them, smaller than adult Zrel but moving with incredible coordination. They found me first, secured my broken limb with tools from their packs, and then asked me about others in danger." "But how did you understand them?" Tenzo asked, his analytical mind always working. "They had machines, translators that learned our language patterns in moments. One of them, a human named Jennifer, stayed with me while the others moved through the storm toward the lower village. I tried to warn them about the toxic mud flats they would have to cross, but Jennifer just made the strange human expression they call a smile. She said, 'That's why we're here and not you. Our suits can handle it.' And handle it they did." I paused, remembering the awe I felt that night. "The humans evacuated 23 hatchlings and 11 elders from the lower village before the floodwaters reached the toxic levels that would have dissolved their outer membranes. They carried each one to safety, making trip after trip through conditions that would kill even our strongest warriors." "Were they not afraid?" asked Verk, her voice tiny with wonder. "They were," I said, "but humans do remarkable things despite their fear. That's something I've come to understand about them. When Jennifer wrapped my broken limb, her hands trembled slightly, but she never hesitated. I reached beneath our family alcove and pulled out a small metal object, a communicator the humans had left with us. After the storm, their larger ship arrived. They brought medicines, water purifiers, and helped us rebuild stronger homes. They taught us how to predict the floods more accurately. Then most of them left." "Most?" Maze questioned. Some stayed. There's a human outpost beyond the eastern ridge now. They call it a humanitarian mission. They're learning about us, and we're learning about them. They have no scales or mandibles. Their skin is soft and comes in different colors. Their young take years to mature, not months like ours, and they come from a world so far away that our ancestors never even knew it existed. Tenzo's eyes narrowed thoughtfully. Why would they travel so far just to help us? What do they gain? A wise question from my eldest. I had asked Jennifer the same thing before she left. The humans have a concept they call solidarity, the belief that all thinking beings share a connection, even across the stars. They help because they can, because they believe it's right. Some of them told me stories of times in their own history when they nearly destroyed themselves, and how they learned to be better. Better than the woob? Verk asked sleepily. I gently stroked her eye ridges. The woob, little one, are kind guides in our stories who help lost children find their way home. But humans? Humans will build you a new home if yours is destroyed. They will travel across stars to reach you when you're in danger. They will learn your language, respect your ways, and stand beside you in your darkest moments. The woob are what we wish for in our loneliness, gentle guides and quiet protectors. But humans are something we never thought to wish for. Friends who see us across the gulf of different biologies and decide that our differences don't matter as much as our shared capacity to think, to feel, to help one another. Tenzo touched the communicator reverently. Can we meet them someday? Yes, I promised. Next rest cycle, we'll visit the outpost. Jennifer has offspring of her own now. They were born here, the first humans to draw breath on our world. They're learning our language without translators. As my offspring finally drifted toward sleep, Verk murmured, I think I still like the woob stories, but I like the human stories better because they're real. I dimmed our dwelling's lights and looked out toward the ridge where the human outpost's lights shone steadily through the mist. That's what makes humans special, little ones, I whispered, though they were already asleep. When the darkness seems too deep and the journey too difficult, when the storm rages and hope fades, humans are there when you need them most, not as legends or dreams, but as flesh and blood and determination. And that reality is far more precious than any fairy tale could ever be. Thank you so much for listening to this story. If you liked it, please be sure to give it a like, subscribe. If you'd like to see more stories like this, my channel puts out a wide variety of science fiction stories. I hope to see you in the next one.